Hello, hello. Today we're going to talk about how to feed this inner machine of ours. I'm Dr. Jessica, your all-natural family doc. And one of the things that I want to talk about is intermittent fasting. And I'm going to be the first to admit I got on that bandwagon as well. And I started really doing the different eating styles, the fasting, and I still do like fasting. I feel that is something that we should be doing on a regular basis. However, intermittent fasting and menstruating women tend not to do well together. So let's talk about that. When we are in a mode of being able to have a child, now this does not matter if you're on birth control or some form of contraceptive, if you are of the age and you are still menstruating, which means you still have your ovaries that are functioning. Sometimes women have lost their uteruses, but if we are still in that cycle, then intermittent fasting actually may be problematic or detrimental to you, because this machine, this body, is constantly being prepared to host a child. And so hormonally, mentally, kind of running in the background with our DNA, it's always going to hoard, especially if we start seeing situations where food is denied. And then I started really thinking about, how much I love getting into like the history of our DNA and our epigenetics. And when we have mechanisms for chaos, and chaos for our body means no food and high energy. But think about, we've always been taught to deny our calories and increase our athletic activity, but yet that actually activates the stress response in our bodies, and it starts to put on extra weight, cortisol, belly fat, things of that nature. So if you've kind of tried all the things and have found that they worked oppositely for you, let's get back to kind of your epigenetics, your DNA, and let's start feeding this machine properly. And so what we want to talk about is how to do that easily when maybe everybody's working, right? We want to eat clean, nutritious foods, but we don't necessarily have all day long to cook. So with this comes meal planning or prepping. And a lot of times what I teach people is that we have to make things once a week, but you make multiple items for once a week, especially if you're taking your children's lunches, your lunches, because we really want to be teaching our children that dieting or skipping meals is not the right thing to do either. That sets up for a whole host of problems as they get older. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to post a tremendous amount of recipes that you can kind of pre-prep and eat throughout the week. And the important part about this is you don't want to make the exact same thing every single week. So I'm going to give you some 4 basic recipes that you can kind of prep yourselves, and then you can feed your family for several days. If you don't have an Instapot, you're going to want to get one, because that is also integral to quick, nutritious meals. And the last little tip I'm going to give to you before I let you go is we need to be adding vegetables. And the trick to prepping vegetables is simply don't mix them. Keep them in individual containers, because if you don't, they start touching each other, they've been cut, and their chemical constituents change, and they get super soggy and terribly gross, and who wants to eat that? So don't let them touch. All right, y'all, have a great week. I'll talk to you soon.